Canada is no longer a democracy, it is a regime. Hey there, this is Tom with Tom's Talk Show, and I I think everyone, wherever you are, needs to continue to look out for and watch for uh, things that are going on, such as they are in Canada. Um, we need to be aware of what's happening, how things are happening, and who these people are that are elected to government that are doing these things so that we can, as quickly as we can, get them voted out of office before this starts happening in the United States. I, so if we look here, of course, several days ago, a week ago, the Canadian dictator Justin Trudeau has just taken an unprecedented step of invoking Emergencies Act to crack down on anti-vaccine mandate protests. He says it's going to be time limited, but it doesn't seem like it. So we have these people here. Canadian protesters' trucks are being seized, bank accounts frozen over connection to Freedom Convoy. So we see people being arrested. 200 protesters were arrested. 100 vehicles were towed. It's quite crazy. I mean, you could see in these videos they were just grabbing people. I mean, the truckers' protests were probably the least violent and aggressive protests I've ever seen. They were standing around. I mean, watching some of the people live broadcasting from Canada from the streets. You see them walking around saying, "Hi, how's it going? Hell, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, okay, take it easy. Haven't what are they doing down there? Oh, they're playing music, having a good time. And what are they doing over there? Oh, that's a church service. They're holding service right there. Yeah, nothing bad. The only thing bad that has happened is continually and persistently come from Trudeau and the government, calling them criminals, calling them terrorists and things like that because they're standing there having a church service. Apparently that's called terrorism in Canada. So now Canada's bank run appears to be underway. So here we go. Thanks to tyrannical actions of Chrystia Freeland, the Davos Group devotee and Deputy Prime Minister of Canada, people in Canada are now rapidly withdrawing their funds from Canada. So because any bank accounts, even a person who merely donated $10 to the convoy. So you looked at this and you said, I kind of think the mandates and everything, they can be over. We're pretty far past this thing. Everybody's got vaccinated. Everybody's kind of doing good. Things are on the down slope. Okay, I'll give them $10 or whatever. No, your bank accounts are going to be seized. They're going to come after you because you had an opinion that was different than Trudeau's, than the dictator in Canada. You had a different opinion than him. Not that you went out and did any violence or did anything else or stood on a street corner for 5 minutes. You said, I'm going to skip a coffee and give $10. Boom, they're going to come after you. They're going to destroy your life. So, and here, of course, Trudeau says, this is about keeping Canadians safe and protecting people's jobs. Okay, number one, if you want groceries, clothes, and goods in your stores, you need truckers to get it there. So they should be your number one people to keep happy. Most of the truckers are vaccinated. They just don't like being tracked. They don't like being mandated. Truckers are the whole thing. I worked for a company that I wrote some software for in Northern California, and they delivered, had short haul truck runs all over Northern California, and they were actively working to make those truckers be able to become independent owner operators, to maintain their own destiny and their own freedom. Right? They were working for the company, for quite a while, and they said, listen, we'll get you in a group. We'll get you so you can own your truck. We'll get you so you can have your own insurance. We'll group you together, get you group insurance, do all these things so you can maintain control of your own destiny. And that's what these truck drivers wanted. That was the attitude, right? I want to be an individual. I want to be an owner. I want to be an operator. I want to have all my own stuff, right? And that's the kind of mentality and thoughts, going through a truck driver. I mean, I've talked to many of them, over the years. I was maintaining the software that they used for like 15 years to run the trucking business and freight billing and stuff like that. I mean, it's a very unique part of culture and of life, and how these guys spend hours upon hours upon hours upon the road. I mean, it's independent. It's you need to be able to. You want all your own stuff, right? Your life is inside that truck, and you don't want to be beholden to anybody else. You want to I want to grab my haul. It's the Firefly thing. What are we doing? We need the next job. We need to get the next job and keep flying. Get the next job, keep flying. And that's kind of trucker mentality. I need my next job thing to haul, and I'm going to keep flying. That's what I'm going to do. Keep driving, keep it on the road, and keep going. And so now they're all there. Their trucks are being taken. Their jobs are being taken away. How is this about protecting people's jobs when you're basically taking their trucks away from them? It's not. Because while you're taking their trucks away, you haven't resolved anything. You now have no goods being delivered to Canada. Now you're going to have stores being closed because they have no product. You're an idiot. It's just not. So, since government can now seize all their funds without due process, people are pulling their money out of the bank. Their money isn't safe in any bank anywhere. So they're pulling it out. So banks in Canada are going to start collapsing, if you understand how this works. Banks need funds. Banks don't have all that cash, in hand. I mean, they have a lot of cash in hand in the safe, in the back, but that's just for regular, like, day-to-day transactions. People start coming and clearing out their savings, which could be, who knows, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. You have, 100 people come and clear $10,000 out. That's a lot of money. Now you got to start ordering, getting more cash from, the government in order to fulfill, refill. You have to have so much cash. I think there's like laws about you have to have so much cash in the bank, at each branch to maintain it. So now you're below that, way below that, because you got people coming in taking their money out because they don't trust you anymore as the government. So now people are going to be saying, like, my check that, I'm working, my check that your direct deposit, I don't want that anymore, right? Can you send that to me in a cashier's check? Can you send that to me if you have cash in the company, that you work for, maybe you're just going to say, can you just pay me in cash? I mean, still, take whatever taxes and whatever out that are outrageous in Canada, of course. Maybe just give me the cash instead of depositing it in my bank, because I don't trust my bank anymore. I mean, personally, I'm looking at getting my money and my deposits into a local community bank that, if this kind of stuff happens, might give me a couple of days or weeks, before, they come after my accounts, right? If this starts happening in the United States, it's really important, I think, now just to really figure out where your money is. I mean, I'm not saying, stuff it in under your mattress, but really maybe stuff it under your mattress. Craziness. And let's contrast this. Okay, so this is what's happening in Canada. Complete insanity. Taking over people's bank accounts, taking over people's lives. I mean, you're so concerned about keeping the Canadians safe, protecting jobs. Well, now you're seizing their bank accounts so they can't go buy food for their families. You don't think that isn't going to start having an impact on what's going on and people deciding, this government is not working for me. Maybe we need to do more. Maybe we need to support the truckers more. Right? You understand what this is doing. It's like a snake, okay? If we have snakes, We have a pet red tail. He's 7 feet long. We fed him the rats that I was holding in a cage in here that was smelling a few weeks ago. So that smell is gone. Thank you. It's gone. So a snake is typically, willing to just kind of wander around and not bother you and just go over here or go over there or do whatever. But you back it into a corner, it's going to rear its head. It's going to be ready to attack because you've now pinned it somewhere. Well, that's what you're doing to your population in Canada. So at this point, I would think they would have reason to come to the United States and declare asylum from an oppressive government. I think that's right. I mean, your government seizing your vehicles, seizing your money, taking away your ability to make money, taking away your ability to have a job, taking away your ability to provide for your family and eat. Not any of the other things like pay for your cell phone, pay for your power bill, pay for your water bill, or any of those things. You can't eat if you gave the truckers $10. Insane. Let's contrast this with the UK. Boris Johnson lifts all remaining COVID restrictions in England. This sounds like a normal person. He's lifting all remaining COVID restrictions in England and sees it as a moment of pride. Pandemic is not over, but thanks to incredible vaccine rollout, we're one step closer towards normalcy, finally giving people back their freedoms while continuing to protect ourselves and others. He's gone to the physicians have expressed concern over the government's living with COVID plan, with the opposition Labour Party questioning the decisions to phase out free lateral flow tests, whatever that is. But they're just saying that people are, if you have symptoms, you can get free tests. Sure. There you go. If you don't have symptoms, what? Just go test everybody just so we can keep everybody in a panic, or somebody who doesn't have symptoms? I don't get that part at all. So 7-day average has fallen below 43,000 cases, down from a peak of 183,000. I really don't care about cases. What I care about are the hospitals overloaded? And are we doing what we can to protect people who are most at risk? And are deaths going crazy? Because we don't want people to die from it. We want them to be able to have space in the hospital and be able to be treated, with monoclonal antibodies or any of the other things that they need. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to say what your treatment is. I have no idea. Whatever that is, you need to talk with your doctor and go reference the CDC or whatever your medical community is. That's there. I'm not there. I'm just saying in general, we need, if things are going down in a really good direction, let's release, some of the restrictions. Well, here they're releasing all the restrictions. We compare that to Trudeau, who is basically becoming the dictator of Canada. I don't know what's going to happen there. It doesn't seem good. It seems that the next election in Canada, there may be a huge turnout and a huge change in the leadership and elected officials in Canada. Because if I were there, and even if I didn't donate 10 people, donate $10, all you have to do is know one of your neighbors, right? Your neighbor donated $10 and now their life is destroyed. So you as a neighbor to that person are like, well, I'll go. To me, if that happened, to one of my neighbors, I would say, well, listen, we'll go help you, right? You have to understand, I guess, people need to understand people's thinking, right? Even if I am on the side of, if my mind thinking is on the side of government where, oh yeah, Trudeau's a good guy, he's doing all the things right, and then my neighbor gets his life taken away from him and comes over and we were talking and he says, well, what's going on? Well, they seized my bank accounts. We can't buy food. The car's sitting here because it's out of gas and we can't drive anywhere. So we've got $8. We're going to walk down to this corner store to see what we can buy for the next day. I mean, to me, my backing of this leader would suddenly dwindle to nothing. And now be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this is what was happening. So now my mindset will be changed. And I'm going to say, this is wrong. Let me help you. Right? I mean, no, you're not walking down there. You're coming with me. You're getting in my car. I'm taking you to the grocery store. We're going to buy you $200-300 worth of groceries because that's what I can afford to help you with. And we're going to keep your family sustained until this can kind of be over. But I don't think it's going to be over until there's another election. It's going to take the entire country to stand up and revolt against its own government in order to do this. And I don't know how that happens. I just thought people, like, everybody not go to work and not pay taxes. I don't know. It's a lose-lose situation for Trudeau. It just is completely, there is no upside. You've demonized your police force. You've demonized your government. You've made martyrs out of the people that you're now dragging off to jail. It's pray for Canada, and if you're Canadian, I think maybe it's time to seek asylum in the United States. All right. Well, this has gone on quite long enough. The video and Canada's oppression of their people. And just pray for Canada and make sure you vote wherever you are. And think about, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, think about what the government there is doing and whether that can happen with your currently elected officials. And find those officials who are more freedom-oriented than oppression-oriented. All right? Well, thanks for watching this. Take care. Have a good one.